For me, through my entire transformation, consciousness has played a central role. Consciousness is understanding this. You process 16 trillion bits of information every 1 second, but the average person is only aware of 2,000 bits of that information every 1 second. And the rest of it is filtered out. What does that mean? It means that there is an enormous amount of stuff going on and you are completely oblivious to it. The information that you see is governed by the things that your brain has been wired to determine as important, or threatening. What my goal is I want to raise your level of awareness and raise your level of consciousness. You can be conscious, I am aware of that, but unless you have the partner to consciousness, it doesn't matter how fucking aware you are of anything. This is the marriage. Consciousness comes with a catch. Oh yeah, I know that that's happening, but that's not my fault. You will find it very challenging to embark on the journey of consciousness if you're not willing to take full 150% responsibility for everything you find when you turn the lights on. Because the reality is, when you turn those lights on, you're going to see a lot of mess. When we make the decision to become more conscious, first of all, you would probably become very overwhelmed. And what is overwhelm? It's information overload. That is going to trigger what? Stress. And stress is going to have a biochemical effect. This is obviously stressful, and your body releases a little hormone called cortisol. And cortisol is magical. It has this incredible ability within 7 minutes to halve your IQ. It makes you fat, it makes you old, and it makes you stupid. Now, who would agree that sounds like a pretty severe catch-22? Dude, you said the key was consciousness, but when I become conscious, I get fat. That doesn't make sense. How do we make sense of all of this? We take responsibility. The biggest challenge for many people is they're so busy giving other people their power by blaming them. Well, it's your fault that everything turned to shit. Okay, I just gave you my power. It'll be one of the greatest decisions that you ever make is to accept full and total personal responsibility. So in order to be conscious, we must be willing to accept full responsibility for everything we see when we turn the lights on. If we're not, we're going to experience very high levels of repetitive pain. Now, pain isn't a bad thing. Pain is a great awakener. Pain wakes people up. But I don't know about you, but I hate having the same pain over and over and over and over again. Who's got a bit of pain in their life or a lesson in their life that just keeps showing up? Because on some level, you haven't owned it as yours yet. And I've learned from my own experience with my repetitive pain, it's not a partial ownership, okay? Responsibility is not a timeshare. And when you accept full unconditional ownership and responsibility for whatever is showing up when you turn the lights on, does that mean you won't feel as overloaded, overwhelmed, and stressed? No, you'll still feel overwhelmed, overloaded, and stressed. Well, why are we seeking consciousness then? What we're trying to do here is seek consciousness so we can see more. So the very thing that we're chasing, in many cases, the result lowers unless we develop a relationship with stress that is different than the one you have right now. When you feel stressed, what is the emotion that you feel? Anxiety, what else? Anger, could be sadness, frustration, panic. Imagine for a freakish moment, instead of feeling any one of those emotions, you trained your psychology to experience gratitude. It's a freaky fucking concept. Why on earth would I be grateful for stress? Well, let's reverse engineer gratitude. When you experience gratitude, the biological response is DHEA. DHEA actually reduces cortisol in the bloodstream. When we change the meaning, we change the molecules. Gratitude is the key to heightened levels of consciousness. Learning how to be grateful in every moment will allow you to see more of what is already there and see more of what you're missing. There's a saying that is often used in recovery for people that are going through a treatment for addiction. They say life gets better when you're sober. One of the things I've learned is life gets better when you're conscious. But consciousness without responsibility equals pain. You must be willing to own your shit.